So what Nathan's going to show you is how to use Photoshop to create a web banner on the exact size that you want, and how to use that in Photoshop and bring that into Dreamweaver. So some of you guys have pictures, how do you incorporate words onto a picture? You can easily do that in Photoshop, and so Nathan's going to show you how to do that. So let's go, Nate. I'm going to turn all the lights off.
Alright, well this was the first screen you're going to see when you go into Photoshop. So if you want to make a new image, what you got to do is set up the file, and you want to go to new. When this comes up, the width and the height, you want to probably go with pixels for that one. The width, you want to make it long, because it's going to be on top of your web page. You can choose any size. For mine, I went with 1000, I believe 196.
Right, so hold on, just before you go further, I think the Stripe Umbrella website width was 950, right?
Mm-hmm.
So 1000 is just a 50 pixels over it.
And you can always play around with this, not only in Photoshop, but in Dreamweaver at the bottom, in your Properties panel. You can edit that and adjust it, but it might distort the picture, so you got to be careful with that. Resolution, that's just how the picture will look. Color mode, I wouldn't worry about that. The background. This will be basically when the image comes up inside the 1000 by 196, what's going to be inside of there at the beginning. Now you could choose a background color, which would basically be that little color right there. All you gotta do is click on it to edit it. If you want the background to be transparent, which that's your choice. I usually go with that because if I want to fill in the background, you can always do that later. But I'm gonna go with transparent for this one.
Oh, hold on. Alright, the one thing I'll say here, the resolution in PPI 300, it's pretty high. Okay? 300 PPI is print quality. Usually on a web banner, and look at the image size. Right now is half of a megabyte. Okay, so if these things are actually getting, you're putting a big resolution on a banner that is very long, but really not that high. I think standard resolution for web graphics is 72 ppi. So pay attention to this number. Nathan, go ahead and change the 300 to 72. Take a look at what happens here. No changes at this point. So just remember this at this point, okay? I think it would change it at one point. So go ahead, Nate. Click on OK.
Okay.
Did it open somewhere else?
No, it should have come up right there.
Yeah.
Oh.
There you go.
Alright. How do you get it? I never usually worked in this window mode. How do you get it to?
Go to Window.
Right here. Oh.
No. Yeah. Go to a Workspace and reset Essentials.
Just.
Reset.
Oh.
Is that what you're looking for?
No, like put it like in the little gray area.
Click and drag all the way up until it snaps, until you see the blue.
It's fine. It can work like this.
You want what? The gray? Or you can press F once. Is that what you're looking for?
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Alright.
You can use the space bar, click and drag on the work area.
Okay.
Hold down space bar and click and drag, and they'll scroll over.
Oh, okay. There we go. Alright, so basically this is going to be your workspace. If this is transparent, so basically these little checkered, they won't show up. In reality, when you export the image, they're just going to be, it's going to be like as if it's glass. It'll be clear, it'll be see-through. So if we want to do something simple, we can always do shapes, just as a background. You have rectangle, you have rounded, ellipse, polygon. We could do rounded for this one. drag over. If you want to like edit the image size, you can click this little button and then click Show Transform Controls, and then these little handles will be over here, and you can drag it in, snap right in, edit it how you like. Press Enter to finalize it. Now that we have that, if we want to change the color of this, we'd go back down to here, and over in this little area, we'd click that, the color. From here we can change it to whatever we want. We go with red, can move it up and down, move this around. Click OK. There you go. This same goes for image. You can also do that for images if you wanted to drag one of those in here, pull it around.
Can you do that really quick? Because I think most people are gonna want to find an image online.
Sure.
And make it fit what they have. Careful what you search for. Never know. So you're saving the image now, downloading it.
I don't know if there's enough space on the desktop.
Yeah, sure.
Actually, I could always just drag it into here. So, actually, what you'd want to do when you do an image, you want to drag it up here, or yep, so it opens like up in its own little window. I'm not sure you have it set up, Mr. Sun. How would I get back to the other one? Like,
you want to see the different windows?
Yeah.
Go to F. Press F twice.
Oh, okay. Thank you. So to do that, I just okay. So now that I have it, because the reason I wouldn't want to drag it right onto the banner is because it makes it smaller, and then when you enlarge it, that ruins the resolution. So if I do this. By the way, to drag that on here, you have to have that tool selected. So now I can just scale it down to however I like it.
Hold down Shift when you're doing that. Sorry, you're destroying the image.
Sure. Yeah, you can hold Shift. It'll like do that. Now this wouldn't be the best idea when doing this, like one image, unless the image is made for this type of length, because usually if I try to fill in like all those lines, it starts to distort the image. So you could always put multiple images and
put some words in there. Put like as part of the banner. Put you're gonna.
What do you want me to do? I'm sorry. I thought you wanted me to put more pictures.
Yeah, sure. But then also put the type on top of all, like a company name or phone number or their website address.
I can.
Some sort of slogan. Yeah, so when you guys are doing that kind of stuff on your personal site, then you'll find cool pictures and basically do the same thing. You need to apply. Press Enter or the check mark.
That's right. Yeah.
That layer is it.
And then once you just put the image right in there, and you can always edit the image. You can crop stuff out, get it how you like it. Now see an image like that, it stretches. So if you wanted to fix that, you could do something like that. Try to put it like that. Granted, that doesn't look too good, but you know, you can still mess around with it. So if I wanted to put text, all I have to do is click this little tool here, text tool. So then all you do is click and drag, and this window will come up. Up here you have the options. You have the text size, different things like the way it could look, the align. So if you wanted to center that, font, you have fonts here, right there. So if you wanted to type something, just click.
How about color?
Hmm?
How about color? I don't want gray.
Oh, yes.
I want you to change color.
So if you want to change the color, all you gotta do is select the text you want to change. Click that, like you did for the shape. Usually the color will be right there. Again, you can choose, go with green. Want to change the font. Different fonts, the sizes are different. So 60 for this might be that big, but if I choose something else, 60 for this type of font will be smaller. So it's good to choose the font, then start choosing the size that you want. Go with something like that. Now effects. If you want to add like a stroke on the side, like an outline, double click the layer down here. You'll see that the layer is named what the text that's put in there is. So all you gotta do is double click. Don't double click here because it'll start renaming the layer. Double click here. It'll bring up a layer styles option window. Here you have effects like drop shadow, which as you see it adds like a little shadow. You can click on that and you can adjust the angle which the shadow is coming from, the distance, the spread, opacity, if it's going to be not as faded. You could add a stroke, which basically adds like a little outline. You can adjust the stroke, the color, again the opacity, so if I didn't want that thick of a stroke, I could just do that. Now you see the effects are applied there. So you can always apply effects like that. And if you want to select the text again, that little T, the little text icon in the layers area, all you do is double click it. It'll select the text again. You can go and change your settings as you want. Also, again, with the select and show transform tool, you can always even do that to text. You can do that to most layers in Photoshop, if not every layer. So, you know, you can always do that. If you want to select a certain type of color too, say you have an image that you want to put in your banner, but you only want a certain part of that image, all you have to do is go to first you want to always make sure the one that you want to crop out, the part of that image, you want to make sure the actual layer of that image is selected. So say I wanted part of these dogs. I could always go to select, color range, and then I click there. You click image, invert, and you basically click on the color that you want, the general color. Now see, that looks, because there's many different colors going along there. If there's a solid color that you want, that would work good. But now if there's multiple colors that you want, you can also use another tool. By the way, if you get a selection like this, all you gotta do is get the selection tool, right click, click deselect.
Let's not do selection. That I think makes it too complicated. Move on to exporting this to use on the web.
Okay. Well, if you want to select, all you gotta do is use that tool and then just drag it around and see it'll automatically select for you. So if you want to export this, all you have to do is click File, click Save As. Now, here you want to choose the format. If you have a image that has transparency in the background, you want to go with a PNG, not JPEG. PNG, for some reason, only PNG will do transparency. Well, with GIF as well. Well, JPEG doesn't. So in this case, we don't have any transparency, so we can always go with JPEG. If you're saving the file, meaning you're not going to use it just yet, but you're still like creating it, save it as a PSD, so that you can always go back to it later. But since we're using this, we're gonna save it as.
I forget. Can you bring into Dreamweaver PSD files straight up?
Yeah, yes, you can. You can you can do that with PSD files. Should.
I'm not sure, so I forget.
So with this option, with the JPEG options, you shouldn't really worry about this too much. This is just quality size. Doesn't really affect anything, except for quality. But
File size.
It does affect file size too. So if your file is too big, lower you go. Right here, it'll tell you the file size. But usually, you should just leave that default, unless it's a problem. Click OK. And
F.
F.
Dreamweaver's open down there.
So if we want to put this, is there any like where I can like any?
Yeah, just create.
Create one. Okay.
Yeah. I don't know what size it's on.
So if we want to place an image here, just go up to Common, click Images.
It's just in your expressions.
We find our area, we click OK.
That's fine.
Is that okay?
Yeah. Sure, it's good.
Just click Save.
Yeah.
Alternate text, we'll just put dog banner. Then there's our banner. If you want to adjust the size or not, like I said before, you have the width and the height down here, so you can just click and edit those numbers as you go. That's how you make a banner.
All right, everybody, give Nathan a hand. Thank you, Nathan.